Hello, my beautiful and talented people. Thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and booking readings. We are achingly close to my 6,000 subscribers. After we reach that, I'm going to give away 2 readings. Just make sure you subscribed and you comment. If you get it in relatively within the next 24 hours, you'll still be in for the 6,000 subscribers. Otherwise, as long as you're subscribed and you comment, I'm going to also have a 7,000 subscriber giveaway as well. So thank you, my gorgeous, my talented, and my wonderful people. And it's time to ask the question, how do others see you? We've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. Take a moment, figure out which one feels right for you. I think I'm going to move this just a little bit forward. And we're gonna get started. Thank you, my gorgeous people. Let's move on to pile number 1. Pile number 1, my gorgeous angels. How do others see you? How do others see you? 9 of Swords. 2 of Wands. The Ace, not the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups fell out, but I'm not feeling like taking it. But I feel like a lot of people observe that there being a lot of anxiety, maybe a lot of things being out of balance for you right now. With the Chariot, it's like people want things to be balanced for you so that that you can move forward. But it's like there is some kind of, because this is moving forward, and there need to be a choice, and because 2s are about choices. Feel like people see that there's a lot up in the air for you right now. They do see you as somebody that they think will be able to overcome this, but I think that people see you as like dealing with a lot emotionally and like having to balance things and make choices about how to move forward. How do others see you right now? 3 of Wands, talking about making choices on how to move forward. Feel like overall people think that you are competent, that people see you as somebody that is going to overcome, see you as somebody who's going to win, but you're just really having to make long-term decisions in your life right now. That being said, as much as there is anxiety, as much as there's things up in the air, people see you as somebody who's very competent, who's competent enough to make that decision, to move forward, to have this leadership in your life. So I feel like even though people see that there's a lot of things upheavaled in your life, that there's a lot of anxiety in your life, that there's maybe a lot of unknowns in your life, people are actually pretty confident in you being able to navigate that. Because they see, people do expect that you will come out of this, that you will end any negative cycles, that, people see you as somebody that despite what you're going through, they think that you're going to land on top because of just the kind of person you are. Maybe you're having to make some decisions without knowing what's going on in the future. But it's like, I feel like you're going through some stuff, but people have faith in you. That's what I'm getting. Because I feel like people see that, you may be a risk taker. You may be somebody who's, starting over again. But it's like people are kind of confident that things are going to work out for you. They just really think that things are going to work out for you. even though currently you may be dealing with a lot of lack and loss. It's like people see that as very temporary for you. Like, even if you're down and out right now, people are sure that things are going to get stable for you. And I feel like people are also definitely willing to be a support for you. Because despite like loss, maybe, anxiety, being left out in the cold in some way, it's like people would bet on you all day long. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What do you need? What should you get rid of? I feel like a lot of people, I do feel like you do have some support around you. I feel like people want you to consider your needs. I feel like the people can see that, not everything is great right now, but it's like they want to make sure that you're taking care of how you're feeling, that you're releasing anything that's not helping you. Skip the song and dance and just tell your friends you don't want to go out. I feel like a lot of you are hyper independent, especially with that Queen of Wands, that Ace of Wands. I feel like sometimes people in your circle may want to be communicated more with regarding what you actually want. And I feel like I definitely am getting a vibe that maybe you guys are not used to or comfortable asking for help. Or at least that's how others see you. Surrender. It's funny because I see surrender and I don't see you as somebody who surrenders easily. I see you as somebody who's very much, focused on your passions, focused on making things happen. I feel like maybe something happened that just wasn't in your control, and you're somebody that's very strong, very stable, who's very used to being in control of your life. And I feel like maybe that surrendering might not be the easiest thing for you. Clarity. How do others see the gorgeous pile number 1? Just a few this time. Beautiful with the peacock. I mean, occasionally they might even see you as a little bit cocky, but I feel like for the most part, even though it's like, I feel like you do seem to be like dealing with loss right now. You do seem to like, I feel like overall you probably have a lot of reasons to feel, cocky, confident. Queen of Wands also being confident queen. I feel like people feel at home with you. Overall, people see you as somebody that's highly developed and very responsible. I've got with the seahorse, I often get with the seahorse. I mean, of course, there could be associations with the ocean, but I've often with the seahorse because the male gives birth. It's almost like, there may be something about a father here. So, can I get anything more on that? I feel like I should. Ace of, it's like there's a lack of stability and loss here, but it's like there is going to be a new beginning. This is, of course, a family. So, I mean, there could be something going on in your family right now. I mean, that's for some of you. That's not for all of you. But obviously sometimes really big things happen and it's not something that is under our control. We have an extraordinary amount of control in our life, and I'm definitely team, taking responsibility, but you seem to also be team, making sure that you take care of what you can take care of. But I feel like you may be having to surrender to something bigger. You may be dealing with really loss and lack. And you're an incredibly competent person. So I feel like people are very confident in you, but that doesn't mean that what you're going through right now is easy. But even though there's really big decisions to make, even though there's a lot of anxiety, ultimately people really, people trust you. People think that you are going to have a new beginning, that you're going to have a steady new beginning, that you're going to have a passionate new beginning. People see the fire in you, and even though right now they see you as maybe hurt, it's just you have shown so much competence and confidence in yourself that people can't help but believe in you. That being, so I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching. I am so close to 6,000 subscribers. I didn't quite make it when I was filming this. So as soon as I hit over 6,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway where I give out 2 different readings to 2 different people. So just make sure you're subscribed and you comment for that. If you get it in within the next 24 hours or so, even if it's above 6,000, you'll still be counted. And other than that, anybody else will just be counted towards the 7,000 subscriber giveaway that I'm also going to be doing. So thank you very much. Also keep in mind, if you want to contact me, make sure that you use the email in the description below the timestamps, because there is somebody that's pretending to be me. I don't have a WhatsApp, and I'm not going to solicit you. So if you do want to contact with me, I get readings out in about 48 hours. So just make sure that you actually contact me through there, and I check it. I answer it all the time. Thank you, my gorgeous and fabulous people. We're going to move on to pile number 2. Hello, pile number 2, my gorgeous angels. How do others see you? How do others see you? Queen of Swords. Intelligent, incisive. Ooh, occasionally biting. Ooh, and definitely, I feel like people love your energy, but also I feel like you very much care about having clarity and bringing clarity. You might be people that when people ask your opinion, you might say, "Are you sure you want me to be honest?" Because I feel like you are about bringing clarity. I feel like a lot of you, but sometimes you give people a chance. With the 8 of Swords, I feel like occasionally, even though you're really smart, really witty, and you have this amazing energy, I feel like sometimes people think that you may... I feel like some people think because of maybe the issues and traumas of your life that you see that you can sometimes limit yourself. Again, this is other people's opinion, but it's I feel like some people really don't think that you understand how amazing you are, and I feel like it's very much to do with maybe past issues and traumas that you had to deal with, which may be one of the reasons why you've had to get so street smart for some of you. 4 of Wands. It's like you bring a lot to any relationship. You offer a lot of stability. You offer kind of this happiness, this there's this celebration. Page of Cups. I feel like you've dealt with a lot of people who are very emotionally unintelligent, very all about, like, I feel like some of you have really put a lot of time and energy into your intellect because you've dealt with people who use their emotions as an excuse to maybe be immature or unkind. And while the emotional realm is very important, it's like if you've dealt with a lot of really bad examples of people, you know, being in their lower emotions and causing a lot of problems, I feel like that has kind of maybe made you become a lot more intellectual, become a lot more, because it's like I feel like you have some opposition, like you've dealt with this so much, it's like you kind of went in an oppositional route to that. And you are actually really well advanced. I feel like you've definitely dealt with some hardness, some hardship. I feel like people recognize that too. King of Wands. Are you the King of Wands? Is the King of Wands an outside figure? For some of you, you may have a very, I mean, it could be somebody that, you know, charismatic leadership, but I really don't, because you're also a leader in your own right. It doesn't, I'm for the most part, you know, I feel like you're a very independent person. I feel like you're a very independent person sometimes because you really have had to be. I do feel like occasionally people want to come in and kind of defend you, but I also think that you might be somewhat dubious of that. You know, with the Temperance card, yeah, I feel like you're somebody that tries not to let your temper get out of balance at all, because you truly don't want to be ruled by your emotions. Like again, like there's nothing wrong with the emotional realm. It's just you've had so many examples of it, you know, being done in a destructive way that I feel like you very much try to keep yourself calm, tempered. Like I feel like you spend a lot of time making sure that you don't get in situations where you do lose your temper. Clarity. How do others see you? Pile 2. I feel like people see you trying to like balance a lot, trying to juggle a lot. You probably have a lot of stuff on your plate. I feel like occasionally that's why people come in and, you know, but I feel like it might feel a little unsafe. It's not even that you're a complete control freak, because that's not what I'm really getting. It's just, I feel like it's hard to, I feel like you might be in a place where or at least it appears to others that it's hard for you to trust people just because you've been burned. With the 9 of Swords, I feel like, you know, you are very competent, but you do have to deal with anxiety. You deal with, it's like there's a lot of stuff balanced in the air for you. And again, you're not somebody that's super easy to get close to for obvious reasons. Even though, like, your energy is really nice, you know, you are somebody, like, when you let somebody in, you're all about that person. But I feel like that's the thing. It's like, despite the Temperance, I feel like you can be a little bit all or nothing with people. Like, they can be in your life, or they can just completely be out. But I do have to feel like it has to do with trust. So it's like you don't come off as very trusting, but you do come off as very competent. You do seem like you are you know, keeping your walls up, you're keeping yourself defended. You do seem like, you know, you really have great ideas that you act on those ideas, but people can see, like, people can kind of see the heartbreak behind all the toughness. Because I do feel like, yeah, it's like people can see that there is pain there. With the Queen of Cups, are you the Queen of Cups? So here's the thing. You are, when I say that, you definitely live a lot as the Queen of Swords, but part of that is because you are the Queen of Cups. You are somebody that's incredibly sensitive, incredibly feeling, incredibly kind. And, you know, you dealt with, you know, I feel like you may have dealt with, you know, heartbreak, especially regarding somebody like who used, you know, their emotional lack of temperance to be a harm to themselves and others kind of situation. So I feel like you have this you have this tough exterior and this very sweet, kind thing. It's like, that's why you don't let a lot of people in, because it just appears like you don't want to take the heartbreak, but people do want to build with things with you. I feel like people want you to be willing to take a little bit more risk than you do take, because I feel like part of it is because people want you to take a risk on them. And again, you have to trust yourself and whether that's a good idea. But I feel like because people do want to be around your energy, because you are somebody that is super loving, but it's like that's not for everybody with you. And you definitely, you know, because you're balancing so many things, because you've dealt with some trauma, you really want to be in charge of your emotional space, and you are. But people do see that you might be limiting yourself too much, or at least that's their opinion on it, and they feel like it is because of past pain, trauma. It's like people want to see with the Phoenix, it's a rebirth. With the Fish, it's about prosperity. I feel like people would want to build a foundation with you, want to have a family with you, want to build things with you. And it's like people want you to have that kind of rebirth, because there's at least somebody who wants to have that rebirth with you. I feel like for some of you, that King of Wands is somebody, it's like they want to come in, they want to be a part of this, but they may not be fully speaking your language. With the Fish, it's like, I feel like people really do believe that there's far more abundance available for you. Oh, with the little, it's not showing up really well, but it's the Neptune. It's like a little merman with a trident. So I feel like, but I also sometimes get Capricorn vibes off this too. So it's like water signs, but also Capricorn in this case. That might not be for you though. I feel like it's like you do have some people who are coming from the outside looking in and wanting you to take more risks, wanting you to give more opportunities, because they might have feelings for you. But a lot of people feel like you're hard to know. You're hard to know, because you do, you know, it's like people are in or people are completely out with you, or that's how people perceive you. With the Phoenix, also, because the Phoenix, rebirth, I feel like people have recognized that you have had to make rebirths, have had to, you know, kind of make big changes in your life. I don't know why I'm biting my finger. I usually don't do that. Maybe that's for somebody. Good fortune, love. I feel like sometimes people think that you might be limiting yourself in love or in good fortune because they see you as incredibly protective, which you, quite frankly, seem to have every right to be. But I feel like people want to be part of that team. People want to get in so that they can, and it doesn't seem to be just so that they can take advantage, which I feel like you might be scared of. I feel like there's some people that want to come in so they can work with you because they can see how valuable you are. Feel like they can see that your heart is kind, but I feel like you're very much protecting. So I feel like people do feel like you have a core issue that you don't, that may need to be addressed, that may be limiting you in some way, because, but I feel like people acknowledge the heartbreak, people acknowledge the grief, people acknowledge that the situations you dealt with were not good. And regardless of those situations, you've come out and been super competent, super strong, and probably, you know, because you had to be. It's just, I feel like people see you as super competent, super strong, but really not willing to let a lot of people in. I feel like people see you as somebody that would just be a beautiful person to have a connection with. Like, people do want to genuinely have a connection with. It doesn't mean that you should let everybody in, but I feel like overall people, also with the, you know, people really would want to build something with you, really want to have a foundation with you, really, and I feel like you've been through a lot of stuff, and I feel like you're a naturally kind and feeling person that's really had to, kind of to survive, get a little bit harder. But people do see, like, the abundance that you offer, the kindness that you offer. It's just they don't know how to get inside your guard. That being said, I really appreciate you. I hope this helped. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 6,000 subscriber, and I am so close. So if we go over 6,000 subscribers within the 24 hours of this being posted, I'll still add in those people. Just make sure you're subscribed and you comment, you're in the running. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's helped me get here. I really appreciate it. If you do want to book a reading with me, my email's in the description right below the timestamp. So just make sure that you contact me like that, because there is somebody that's pretending to be me in the comments. It is absolutely not me. I'm not going to solicit you in the comments. I don't have a WhatsApp. So just use that email. I check it all the time. And that's the way to get in contact. That being said, my gorgeous and fabulous people, let's move on to pile number 3. Pile number 3, my gorgeous, wonderful people. How do others see you? How do others see you? Page of Cups, Temperance. You may be going through some kind of maturation process. 5 of, Devil. Devil, Temperance. Especially with the, you know, some of you may have dealt with addiction. And it doesn't necessarily need to be substances, but the Devil is addiction. Temperance is, you know, not letting things take over your life. So I feel like a lot of you may have gotten clean. But I feel like there's still some kind of, and again, if this isn't you, if this doesn't seem like you, or again, it doesn't necessarily have to be substances or drinking. It can be like negative situations. But I feel like you've done something to overcome some kind of really negative situation in your life. It could be an addiction. But I feel like this still, to some extent, may color how people view you. Because there was a lot of, I mean, whatever unhealthiness was in your life, it could have just really been an even unhealthy person. It caused a lot of turmoil. It's like it caused a lot of turmoil between you and other people. And even though you've come to a point where I do see you as rising above this, but I feel like to some extent it has affected how people see you, especially. So there are definitely some people have recognized that you have risen above this, and some people see you in that lack of maturity that they might have witnessed when you were not in your healthier behaviors. I feel like you are somebody that is capable. It's like, I feel like you've truly overcome your struggles. I don't know when my voice just got high, but it does look like you've overcome your struggles. And I feel like there are definitely some people who recognize this. But maybe there are some people who kind of last knew you when you might be a little bit, when you might have been a little bit harder to be around because of whatever unhealthy thing you were holding on to. So I feel like there are definitely some people who don't entirely know how to feel about you. And again, if you really don't think this is you, you don't need to take on this reading. You can pick any of the other piles. But I feel like there is some kind of past connection, some kind of past behavior, and it has, and even though you've overcome it, it does occasionally make other people not know how to see you. With the Hierophant, this is about religion. You might have changed some kind of belief, and usually I don't get that with the Hierophant, but I feel like it's only because there was some kind of imaging here where there was a little bit of similarity between these cards. It's like you may have changed some kind of belief. Because, and it doesn't have to be a religious belief. It could just be, something, maybe something wasn't healthy because of a belief you held. But I feel like, again, I feel like it might have been some belief being held, maybe some unquestioned belief. And that kind of led to some kind of dysfunction in your life. Page of Swords. I think that there are definitely people who are kind of observing, waiting, and seeing how you're going to move forward. I feel like that you do have a propensity for, victory. You do have, you have overcome. So, how do others see you? How do others see you? The Hierophant. The Hierophant has come out twice, so there could be, again, some kind of religious belief, some kind of structure. I almost got that there was some kind of structure, some kind of societal structure. So there might be like some kind of, is there some kind of overall societal judgment? There might be some kind of overall societal judgment, even though like you have shown growth, you have overcome. I feel like there might have been, so I feel like you're not going to be able to control how everybody sees you, even if you've done right by yourself, even though you've grown. That there definitely will be people who will watch, who will see your growth. But some people, it's like there may be some kind of long-term judgment, like, you know, you just, and, you know, and those might be people that aren't really even considering you, but kind of like seeing you from the filter of their own unconscious beliefs. That being said, you know, like you really overcome your, I feel like a lot of people are going to be able to see the abundance and stability that you create in your life. And there are some people who you're not going to be able to please no matter what. And it's all, and at that point, as long as you've let go of anything that's toxic for you or other people, who cares about how they feel you, or how they may judge you. So I feel like you definitely dealt with judgment, maybe some kind of societal judgment, but you're also somebody that has created success. You're also somebody that has overcome something that might have been unhealthy. So, you know, it's not that you're a perfect person, because you're not, but you are somebody that isn't continuing to live within your dysfunction. And I think it's funny that the Page of Cups, the Page of Swords is now facing themselves. Feel like you may have had to face yourself at some point, and look at yourself in a very unromantic way. Not that you would be romantic with yourself, but in a way that was very clinical. I feel like there was a need for you to have, with this temperance, with this overcoming, with this coming to peace, that there was like a need to really look and reflect on yourself. And I feel like that's ultimately what is going to lead to this long-term stability, because the Eight of Pentacles is long-term stability. And I feel like it's possible that you guys weren't always very stable. And it's just, but it's like, you seem to have overcome that instability, and you've done it by really, no matter what, it's like people are going to continue to watch you move forward. You win, you put your energy, effort, and ideas forward, you having your own stability. And there are going to continue to be people who, you know, will judge you no matter what you do, maybe because of something that happened in the past. But that being said, I feel like overall, the people who know you now definitely see this stability, definitely see this passion, definitely like your willingness to look at the truth, even hard truths, has helped you move forward, even, you know, on that route. Yes, a plane ticket across the country or even the world is a perfect impulse buy. Do it. So I feel like you are somebody that's not really letting things stay in your way. You're willing to, you're excited by travel. You're creating wins in your life. So it doesn't actually 100% matter if some people are going to, kind of judge you out of hand regardless of what you do. It's okay not to know. Take time, figure out what suits you. I feel like you've had to figure out what suits you. You had to like take time and figure out what's healthy for you, because you did have to paradigm shift something from very unhealthy to something much more healthy. Choices. It's like people are getting to see the choices that you're making. And while you may not have always made wonderful choices, it's like the choices that you make now also matter. With Glow in the Dark Stone, I feel like you came to an important realization. Like, I feel like something that you were blind to, you became clear to you, and you made different choices regarding it. So, I mean, we can't all be perfect, but I feel like you may have had to realize that maybe you were wrong, maybe you were doing something unhealthy, and then you decided to make different choices, which inherently is growth, is bravery. But I feel like, are people afraid of you? Because there is this fear. And I feel like maybe you do have some fear of being judged because you have not always been perfect. But life isn't about always being perfect. Life is about learning and growing and changing and taking responsibility. And it seems to be things that you have done. So I feel like for overall, you're not letting fear continue to put you in unhealthy positions or restrain you, which is one of the reasons why all your energy is moving forward. So I feel like the people who are actually paying attention, the people who are currently in your life, can see all that change. I mean, there definitely may be people that knew you in the past that don't know how to feel about you because they might have witnessed you when you were not really being healthy. But cold heart. Do people think you're cold-hearted? To people who experienced you when you were unhealthy, I feel like a lot of people who experienced you when you weren't being the most healthy, they may feel like you're a cold-hearted person. It's not that you're a cold-hearted person, but you might have been in the throes of dysfunction, and those people only got to see that part of you. Which doesn't mean that it's the extent of who you are. It's not. But with the Phoenix, it's like you've had growth, you've had rebirth, you've started over. You've gone from being, really unhealthy to really stable and really abundant. So, like, barring people who are just judgmental or people who only knew you when you were not being the most healthy version of yourself, like the people who are in your life now can see the growth. I feel like a lot of people can see that you've embraced your power, that, a lot of people can also see that you've become a lot more genuinely happy because you're not, you've gotten to the point where you're in control of yourself and in your and your emotions, and you're like moving on from anything that's not healthy for you. Yeah, you've gained a lot of wisdom with the Owl. And you do have a lot of good connections. So I feel like overall it just seems like you've gone through a really big transformation. And maybe not everybody who knew you along the way has the same impression of you, because some people may have dealt with you when you were really deep in dysfunction, and maybe weren't really able to be more healthy at that moment. And those people may not have the greatest impression of you. There are going to be some people who, you know, for whatever reason are going to be judgmental about you no matter what you do, and their opinion doesn't really matter that much. But overall, people can really see that you've grown, that you've changed, that you've been reborn, that you have taking yourself from dysfunctional to healthy and stable, and that is a very impressive task. It is an important thing to do, and even if you weren't perfect, at some point you decided to be better, and that matters. And a lot of people, especially the people, whoever's in your life right now, can see the growth. So I hope this helped you. I am doing a 6,000 subscriber giveaway. We are achingly close. So anybody who subscribes within the next 24 hours is still in the running for that. I'm giving away 2 free readings. So just make sure that you're subscribed and you comment and you're in the running for that. And if you don't do it within 24 hours of this reading, then you'll just be into our 7,000 subscriber giveaway, which is going to be our next one. So just make sure that you're subscribed and you comment, and you will be in the running. I really appreciate you. And if you do want to contact me, make sure that you use the email that's below the timestamps in the description. There is somebody that's pretending to be me, and I don't want any of you to be taken advantage of. So if you use that email, I check it all the time. I will absolutely look at it. I will absolutely answer. It's the way to get in contact with me. I truly appreciate you all. Thank you so much for all of my growth of this channel and being here. And we're going to move on to our gorgeous pile number 4s. So pile number 4, my gorgeous angels. This used to be my favorite stone, which is the tiger's eye. I know it's not reading too well right now. How do others see you? How do others see you? 8 of Swords. 3 of Cups. 2 of Cups. 3 of Wands. I feel like some people may think that you've limited yourself in some way. But overall, people see you as somebody that has a long-term vision that is working to make that happen. With the 2 of Cups, you are somebody, it's like there are probably more than a few people who have affection for you, who, you know, I feel like people definitely see you as a potential romantic partner. I feel like you, with the 3 of Cups, you're also somebody that it's really easy to have a good time with. But why do people think that you're limiting yourself? I feel like you've dealt with a lot of lack, maybe poverty, but one way or another, I feel like sometimes people see you as, you know, even though you do seem to be like somebody who plans and works towards something in the long term, I feel it from other people's perspective, it seems like you do, like the lack that you have endured, I feel like some people feel like you've let that limit you in some respects. Because people see you as somebody that is truly capable of creating whatever you want. Like people, it's like people see you as somebody that should have abundance, that should have stability, that, you know, if you are not in a long-term commitment, they feel like you're somebody that should have a long-term commitment. It's just, And again, that's outside, because obviously sometimes being independent, sometimes not being in a relationship, it, might be a choice that you make for your own best health. But I feel like people believe that despite the loss, the lack that you might have received, that ultimately you deserve to have stability. 3 of Cups. Because I don't feel, it's funny, because 3 of Cups has come up twice. And I don't get a lack of seriousness on your part, because I see you as, people see you as somebody who sees long-term goals, works for long-term goals. But I feel like maybe you're willing to be silly and fun. You might be somebody that people really want to, want to go to a party, to hang out, to see you. You could definitely have some kind of life of the party energy. Because I feel like you do move forward in life with enthusiasm. You do have very interesting ideas. You're interesting, you're passionate, you're fun to be around. But I feel like some people, have seen the loss you have experienced, and it doesn't make sense to them. Because you're clearly somebody that brings a lot of happiness to people. So people see you as somebody that they would want to be family with. People see you as somebody that they, they could have long-term stability with. Feel like you are somebody that has very open, giving, loving heart. But a lot of you are going through some kind of healing, because just because you're a loving and kind individual doesn't mean that everybody gives everything to you. So, and it's not, you're not necessarily, so people do feel like, to some extent, that you might box yourself in, that you might, it's not even that you accept less, because I feel like, for the most part, you're here, people see you doing what you need to do to heal. I feel like to some extent people don't really understand why you've received the losses that you've received, because as far as they're concerned, you deserve to have, family and love, connection. That you are this hugely loving person. How do others see you? But I feel like you've really had to emotionally walk away from things. You really had to take time and heal. The Emperor. Some of you dealt with somebody who maybe tried to exercise some kind of power over you. And you needed to walk away from that. And from the outside, maybe not everybody understands why you had to walk away from that. But it was definitely something that you needed to do to change your favor. Because whoever was trying to execute some kind of power over you was not generous, was not giving. Like they were trying to exercise some kind of control, while at the same time really not giving to you, despite having an ability to give to you. Like they really weren't. It's like somebody tried to exercise some kind of control over you as the Emperor. Like they, it's like they really didn't execute like a duty of care over you. Like they wanted to have power over you, but they weren't about making things good for you, which Of course you have to run away from that. Of course you have to walk away, because at that point, it's really not a good thing. And I feel like you may have had some kind of cycle with this person where they were trying to maintain control and were not being given. And I feel like you may have had to walk away in order to have something better. Which is unfortunate. Because it's like, it's funny because it feels like it was somebody that had everything to give but just weren't giving it. Small gestures can be a bigger deal than you know. I feel like you dealt with somebody that was extremely withholding, that their withholdingness, you know, created a real lack for you, being left out in the cold. Like, this person, like, caused you some harm. Yeah, I feel like some of you could have left something that was abusive. And you, like, it's like you bring stability. You offer a lot of love. I feel like you're... So I feel like a lot of you really made the intelligent step to walk away from somebody that, you know, I don't know what's up with this person, but it's like they wanted control, but they were not giving you any care. And you... And I feel like you're somebody who's really lovable. You're somebody who's really wonderful to be around. And I feel like maybe this situation was limiting you. Maybe this person really did make you feel like you were controlled. But I feel like for the most part, because I don't feel like you're still in this, whatever this was. I feel like, you know, even though sometimes people think that you're self-limiting, I feel like you definitely freed yourself from this person. What are you scared of? Can it really hurt you? No, forget about it. I feel like you really had to consider, like, what were you scared of losing? Because as far as I can tell, like, you dealt with somebody that, you know, wasn't going to give you anything at all. So it's like, if they weren't going to give you anything at all, what are you scared of losing? You have nothing to lose. I feel like you were put in a situation with somebody who really made leaving them and and emotionally walking away the only healthy thing to do. Because of their controlling nature and their complete lack of generosity. Respect tragedy, give it all the tears it needs. So I feel like you went through a tragedy regarding somebody that was controlling, regarding somebody who wasn't giving. And I feel like a lot of you, it's the smaller gestures mean everything to you, because I feel like you dealt with somebody and, like, you know, they, you know, even the smallest kind things just doesn't seem to be something that they offered you. So I feel like you had to, like, really think of what you were scared of. And then really decide, like, what wasn't worth prioritizing, what wasn't worth. So I feel like a lot of you moved on from something that was really unhealthy for you. That might have really kept you constrained for a while. And it's like this person intended to keep you constrained. It's like... So, I feel for the most part you did overcome, and I feel like you awakened to the fact that, you know, that this person can't limit you and that you can walk away. I feel like that's why you're really prioritizing your healing, maybe really prioritizing your friendships. And even though there's a lot of people who really would like to be in a relationship with you, I feel like some of you are just thinking of your long term, and may not be prioritizing that at this moment. How do others see you? It's not that scared, because I feel like you might have been at some point, but I feel like it's weird. I feel like whoever was trying to control you now has some kind of fear related to you. And it's very interesting, because I feel like you definitely dealt with somebody who was trying to control you. Very much, very specifically trying to control you. And maybe trying to use like lack as some kind of control mechanism over you. But it's like they're afraid of you now. And I don't know why, but I'm getting that they're afraid of you now. Whoever tried to like really keep you down, really tried to oppress you, whoever did that, they're kind of afraid of you now. But yeah, you really had some kind of malformed, unhealthy connection. And it feels like somebody did it very much to try to control you through some kind of selfishness or loss. Which obviously made you feel lack and left out in the cold. But it's like, whoever did that, they're afraid of you now. The mask. Are you wearing a mask? I feel like this person who did those things, whoever was doing that, was really wearing a mask regarding you. They really have some fear regarding you now. And I feel like you're in a place to take on much healthier connections than what this person offered. I feel like this is how other people see you, but you look like you're on the precipice of rebirth. Because I feel like you definitely were in a position where somebody was trying to control you, but instead you found your own power. So I feel like somebody really tried to take all the power away from you, but instead you just became more powerful. So with the Eight of Swords, I feel like some people may think that you limit yourself a little bit, but ultimately they don't know what you've been through. And I feel like you're at a place where you can really speak about your feelings. Especially if somebody tried to control you with silence or anything like that. I feel like you awakened, you're definitely not afraid to speak. Maybe that's why this person is afraid of you now, because you're not afraid to speak. You're not afraid to be honest. And, you dealt with somebody and something that offered you a lot of dysfunction. But instead you've decided just to be healthy and grow. So I feel like you really dealt with, if it wasn't a particular person, like it could have been, but someone, like maybe a societal structure tried to control you, and you just you did whatever you could to circumvent that control. And, it might not currently make you very available for emotional connections, but you didn't become somebody who was emotionally unavailable. You're just taking a pause for your own healing, because you really dealt with somebody who's just very selfish, very miser, and coming from a very controlling place, which is obviously not healthy. This could be like Capricorn, so maybe the Devil card. It also could be any of the water signs, like a King of Cups. There's something going on here, because I don't feel like you really unmasked anybody. Like, I feel like if you were giving somebody way too much power over you. You've definitely walked away from that. King of Wands. I do feel like you're going to have a new opportunity moving forward. I feel like you're no longer going to be put in situations where somebody withholds their emotions from you. Because I feel like maybe somebody, like, they like maybe withheld their heart or withheld their emotions, as well as withheld, you know, generosity of any kind. This person was very ungiving to you, and I feel like it was intentional. Like they intentionally were very withholding with you. Because they wanted to maintain some kind of power and control, which obviously, if somebody's only trying to maintain power and control in a relationship, it can't be healthy, because how can that possibly be healthy? But I do feel like for some of you, there's somebody else coming into your life who has much better energy. And I feel like the tiger's eye represents strength. I feel like a lot of you truly represented strength by overcoming this person, this situation, by saying no to whatever this negative cycle was, because I feel like, and you may have, like, this person may have held you back for a while, but I feel like eventually you got wise to the fact that this person was holding you back. So I hope that this helps you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 6,000 subscribers, and I'm so close that if you subscribe after I hit 6,000 subscribers within 24 hours of this video, I'll also add you into the 6,000 subscriber giveaway. Just make sure that you're subscribed and you comment. You're in the running for that. If it's after that, then that's fine, because I'm going to do another one at 7,000 subscribers where I give away 2 free readings to people. So thank you so much. I deeply appreciate you. And if you do want to contact me, use the email in the description that's right below the timestamps. There is somebody that's pretending to be me in the comments, and I don't have a WhatsApp. I'm not going to solicit you. So if you want to contact me, that's the way to do it. I answer all the time. I will make sure that I take care of you. Thanks.